Well, playoff hockey returns here to the Idaho Central Arena tonight as the Idaho Steelheads play host to the Utah Grizzlies for Game 1 of the division semifinals. Cam McGuire here sitting alongside Steelheads head coach Everett Sheen. Well, Sheen, first want to start off. You guys wrapped up the regular season last Saturday night in Rapid City. A thrilling overtime win, final score of 7-6, and just another cherry to add on the Sunday there.
Yeah, it was a good game getting the results.
Yeah.
It's kind of an odd game where really both teams had nothing to play for other than just to finish the game. But credit to our guys, like I said all year, they don't ever quit. We were down 4-1, 4-3, 6-4, and they just kept finding a way. They really want to end on a high note there, and give them credit for that.
Well, obviously we'll talk about the playoff matchup here between the Steelheads and the Grizzlies, but want to take a look back at the regular season and specifically look back at that win on Saturday night. Now, 6 come from behind wins when trailing after 40 minutes of play, tied for the most in the league this year, and we've talked about it time and time again. The resiliency from this group, it never stopped, and that was evident last Saturday night.
No, you're exactly right. All season long, the resilience of this group. Anytime a team scores a goal against us, there's no panic on the bench. It's just, all right, guys, back to work. Let's keep going, get back to our game, and then just be able to have that confidence going into the third if we are down, that we're able to do it, or if we find ourselves tied going into the third and give up the first goal of the period. Our guys are confident in their ability to go get it back and ultimately pull the victory.
Well, the Steelheads finished the regular season with a remarkable 58-11-1-2 record, setting new single seasons highs in the ECHL in terms of wins and points. And Coach, obviously we've talked about the records time and time again. When you look back at the season, when you put it in perspective, how would you evaluate it?
It was pretty special. Pretty special group down there, and we talked about it a month ago or so. Brought them up as just kind of a target. Something to keep preparing for playoffs after we clinch a playoff spot. Something to stay mentally engaged, and our guys took a lot of pride in accomplishing that. And I was very happy for them to be able to do so. And now that we got it, now it's time to move on. Now it's time for playoff hockey.
How big do you think that was for your group to kind of have those milestones and check off those boxes down the stretch? Because you said it, you guys had playoffs locked up with still a lot of the season left. So to kind of have those targets to aim at, probably able to keep your focus a little bit more.
Absolutely, especially playing against teams. Rapid City was in it until down the stretch there. Utah, so we were at Kansas City. We're playing playoff teams, down the stretch. So we knew they had something to fight for, and for our guys to be able to have something to fight for themselves and be able to stay mentally sharp and mentally prepare. And then we won 1-goal games down the stretch. We won comeback games. We won games. We got the lead and held it, and we just found different ways to win. And I think that was a testament to at least have something to strive for.
Talk about those 1-goal games. You guys played in the fewest of them this season, but 6 of your last 8 went to 1 goal. And big lessons that you guys were able to learn from that heading into playoffs.
Yeah, this time of year teams are going to be very stingy, very tight. Any level, it's harder to score goals in playoffs. So you got to be able to have that 1-goal mindset and the ability to be successful in those games, because it's a whole different ball game when you're either tied or down by 1 or up by 1, rather than you're up by 3 or 4 and you can kind of let a few things slip. Those 1-goal games, you got to make sure you're detailed and responsible and making sure pucks are getting in and out. And our guys, I think, gained some valuable experience from that.
The Steelheads have received a lot of league recognition this season for a lot of awards, whether it's been first team players on the All-Star team, and Coach, yesterday you were named ECHL Coach of the Year, as well as your staff for Hockey Ops Department of the Year. And just tell me what that means to you.
It's very special. It's a very big honor, but it's not a single accolade, really. It's a testament to the group of the guys in that dressing room, and their willingness to buy into what we say as a staff. And it's also a testament to our staff. Our Keenan Kelly, our assistant coach, and Thomas Gillespie and Chris Bestel, and everyone involved in this organization. It's not possible without them. Especially the biggest piece is my family, always being there supporting. So it's it's an individual recognition, but it's not an individual award. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that definitely help.
You've been around a lot of teams, whether playing, coaching. What makes this group so special?
Just like I said all year, they just love being around each other. I had to cut practice short today because we were playing a little mini game and they wanted to find a winner, but I was trying to save some legs for tomorrow. So they just love being around each other. They love competing with each other. They love competing against each other. And it's just, it's a lot of fun, and everyone wants to be involved.
Well, this is going to be your first taste in postseason action as head coach, and you do have some experience on the assistant coaching side of thing. How valuable is that to kind of be on the bench for that, kind of as the second man, you would say, but now kind of taking it by the horns here?
Yeah, it's, I'm definitely going to rely on that. We went through the 3 playoffs that I've been involved in, went through 2 pretty monumental series. We had the reverse sweep against Allen. Then the next year, I believe it was the next year, we beat Utah 4 straight overtime games. So in those playoffs, found some experiences that you don't always get. So I just know what it takes, to focus day by day and take it a game at a time. You can't get too far ahead of yourself.
Talking about playoff experience, there are a couple players on the roster that have ECHL playoff experience. I think the 2 most notable would be your captain, A.J. White, and defenseman Matt Register, who's won 3 ECHL Kelly Cup championships. I mean, how valuable is it to have them around, guys that have been in this spot before, for a majority of your team that hasn't been in the postseason?
No, extremely. Especially a guy like Reggie. He's done it 3 times, won them, been to another finals on top of that. Him and I lost in the Western Finals together, so he's seen every potential situation I think you could possibly see. So that's I know our guys are going to rely on that a lot. And then with AJ, he went through the same things I went with here with the reverse sweep and the 4 overtime wins, and so they've been around. They've experienced a lot, and I think our guys will definitely rely on them heavily.
Matt Register is the all-time games played leader in postseason play in the ECHL. I mean, have you guys had a chance to kind of bounce ideas off of one another, obviously with his vast experience and obviously pedigree of winning in this league? Yeah,
we've had a few chats and, a lot about travel and how to make sure we're getting our rest. And, it's at this point of the year, we're not really teaching our systems anymore. It's about being able to stay fresh and sharp at the same time, and whether it's traveling a day earlier or taking a day off here and there, he's got some valuable insight on that for sure.
Well, you bring up travel, and for the first round it's going to be, I would say, pretty easy maybe travel, as you just got to bust down the road to Utah. And you look at the matchup, I mean, you played them 18 times in the regular season. We saw them a couple weeks ago, so right back with the Grizzlies here for round 1.
Yeah, we've been very familiar with them. We did have some success against them in the regular season, but we can't rely on that. We got to learn from it and learn why we had that success, and then look to carry it forward.
Lastly here, a lot of your success was due to the depth in your lineup. You guys had 14 different players with double digits in goals, 18 different skaters with 20-plus points. How do you manage the roster here in postseason play with all the depth that you have?
Yeah, it's just making sure guys know their role and the acceptance of that role. And the biggest thing in playoffs is whether you're in or out of the lineup, you got to have a good attitude every day. Some of the most important pieces are the guys who aren't in the lineup that night. They got to bring a good attitude, a good work ethic, and help pick the guys up that are out there on the ice. So it's going to be a full team collective effort, and I'd expect nothing less from our group.
Well, there you have it. That's Steelheads head coach Everett Sheen. Game 1 of the ECHL Kelly Cup playoffs, first round here tonight at the Idaho Central Arena. Game 2 on Friday before the Steelheads travel to Utah next Wednesday. Coach, thanks for the time here, and best of luck tonight.
Thanks a lot, Ken.